Well, hello again. Welcome back to the Shed of Knowledge. I'm your old pal John the Storyteller, here to give you another unbelievable story about something. I'm going to call this one quick fact, even though it's multiple facts. But I thought, since I always concentrate on historical events, geographic events, things that have taken place a long time ago, I mean, they may be current, but they're based on ancient occurrences. I thought maybe I would do something a little bit modern. And so I'm going to talk about something that popped up in the news recently. You may have missed it, but the inflated headline is that life on Venus. That sounds great. That would be amazing, but it's not quite that. So let's talk about Venus just for a minute. Life is, as we know it on Earth, DNA-based life would have a very hard time living on Venus. It is 800 degrees at the surface. It rains sulfur. It's a horrendous environment. We have only gotten 2 pictures of Venus ever, even though we've sent probes there, because Venus's environment basically eats metal right away. You have a few minutes. If you could land a rover on Venus, you have a very few minutes before that thing is demolished, and it is, demolished to atoms. But so we do have a couple pictures of Venus. Venus is known as Earth's twin because outwardly they look very similar. Their mass is roughly equivalent. Venus is surrounded by clouds, a lot like Earth, but like I say, once you probe into the atmosphere, it becomes a horrendous place. The other thing is, Venus's atmospheric pressure on Venus is the same as being 3,000 feet underwater. It's like 90 times the pressure that you get on Earth. So I don't know what would get you first, being squashed, being burned, being chemically destroyed, you name it. We don't know. But anyway, Venus is a horrible place. But, so don't buy any condos there anytime soon. Those development projects are not going to happen. Stick to Earth-based ones. Or maybe Mars. Mars is a little bit more hospitable. We have rovers running around on Mars that have been up there for years, taking pictures and sampling rocks and stuff. So Mars is very cold, and the atmosphere is extremely thin, but you could, if it were hypothetically compressed, you could breathe it. It's breathable. Even early Earth was inhospitable. But anyway, we had an over-oxygenated Earth. Venus is mostly carbon dioxide, unbreathable carbon dioxide. But now on Earth we have a nice little balance, 6% oxygen and mostly nitrogen, and the rest is carbon dioxide and other gases. So anyway, the idea of life on Venus is because scientists have noticed something in the atmosphere, and I don't mean down at the surface. I mean about 30 miles from the top of Venus's atmosphere, it cools down to about 86 degrees Fahrenheit, like a summer day in North Carolina. So it's reasonable up there. And what they've noticed up there is a large amount of what's called phosphine. And what phosphine is a phosphorus on top of 3 hydrogens. It's an element. So the phosphine is here on Earth. In fact, it's inside of you right now. If you're watching this, you have it in your intestinal tract. It is made by microbes. Now, there are other... See, this is why the idea of life on Venus is completely a misleading headline. So you got to come to me for the real facts. I'll tell you the real facts. But anyway, the phosphine that they have noticed in the atmosphere of Venus is a lot more than what they thought should be there from natural things. Now, phosphine can be created with tremendous pressure and heat. Things like that can create other sort of elements, but the main way, Earth and Venus are too small really to, like Jupiter can do it, Saturn can do it, but Earth and Venus are too small really to create phosphine, and so what they theorize is that there could be microbes that create anaerobic microbes that can create phosphine. This is anaerobic, meaning without oxygen. They function without oxygen. They're chemosynthetic, I guess. But anyway, anaerobic microbes that, no, I guess they wouldn't be necessarily. That's not, anyway, I'm out of my depth here a little bit. But the idea is that the microbes can create this phosphine. The only problem is there's no way of really knowing, without sending a rover that gets immediately annihilated as soon as it gets in there, whether there are any microbes in there. And so if there is life on Venus, it would be microbial life on Venus. But again, it's kind of exciting because the levels of phosphine that they find in the atmosphere at that particular level are much higher than they theoretically should be. So the idea is that perhaps there are microbes that have gotten there in some fashion, maybe flown off of Earth, or came about when Venus was a young planet or something like Earth. But the theory is that there could potentially be microbial life on Venus, which is very, very interesting. We will follow this story as we go, but there is something interesting for you for today. I was just dying to do one. I haven't done one in so long. If you have any ideas, by the way, I am definitely looking for ideas for a well-researched one, much quicker than what I'm doing here. So if you get a chance, leave a little comment down there, and I will take a look at them. I look at all my comments because I have so few subscribers that it's easy for me to respond to you or to look at your comments. I'm very happy to. Okay, life on Venus. Probably not, but maybe.